artists. So I was just out in my garden and my mind started wandering to your guys' amazing Pueblo pottery drawings that you did for this past week's lesson. And I just kept thinking about them and how amazing they all turned out, and everyone is progressing over this whole course of this class. It's so exciting to see the drawings just getting better and better after each week. Really, really, really nice job, everyone. Now, as I've been out in my garden, which has been about every day, and my mind keeps wandering to ideas for projects and ideas for my own personal artwork, and I was thinking, why don't we do something different today? Why don't you guys join me out in my garden? And we're gonna sketch together. So let's go ahead and let's do something different today, and you're gonna join me in my garden while we do this 10-minute sketch. So let's go ahead, and we're gonna head, not here, but outside. So we'll meet again in just a couple of minutes. All right. So you can see here I'm all set up. I got my sketchbook and I have all of my drawing materials. I always like to bring out extra stuff when I'm outside because you never know what you feel like using. And of course, I got my water bottle to stay hydrated. That's always important, you know, kids. And so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start drawing. So what I decided what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna draw a garden, and it's a new garden. It's a new addition to the studio, so I'm gonna show you that right now. And this is our new garden up in the back of the studio. So you can see we planted some lilacs, and when I say we, I mean Miss Kathy and I. So I did this for Mother's Day. And so you can see here we got all of our vegetables planted. You don't see any green sprouting yet, but hopefully we will get that soon. And then you can see we have a chicken coop, and so we have a new addition there, and then you can see we have a gate, so it's really fun and exciting. So this is where I've been almost every single day. So you can see there are some plants that still need to get planted, and so that's what I'm going to work on today. Now, as I was out here planning where to put these roses and how I want it to go, I got thinking this would be perfect for warm-up, and why don't we envision what these crawling roses are gonna look like once they are mature and they're blooming and beautiful. So I was thinking we're gonna draw the gate, and then we're gonna draw all the climbing roses going around the gate. So I thought that'd be a fun drawing for us to do together. So go ahead, grab your piece of paper, and you can grab your pencils, and then you guys can also decide what coloring materials you want to use. If you have some watercolors on hand, you could do that. If you have some color pencils, you could do that. If you have chalk, if you have crayons, all of those things are perfectly awesome. We just want some color. But for right now, all you need to worry about is having a piece of paper and a pencil. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip to a page here that is open, and so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start drawing. So let's go. Okay, artists, we're gonna start off with a straight line for the top of this gate. And we're going to do the part that's up in the air first. So a nice straight line is all you need to get started. And we're just going to put two little lines for down where the posts are going to go down on either side. And just nice straight lines. And now let's sketch out the top, which has a little triangle. And so we're going to go out from that first straight line that we put in and up to a point, and then go to the other outer straight line on the right, and then go up to the point so they connect so we get a triangle. Now we're going to do two parallel lines for our posts on either side of this kind of arbor shape that's above our gate. Now let's do a triangle that's a little bit below the arbor that's on top, and it's a little bit smaller than the first one we put in. Now we're going to do another straight line from each corner of the triangle, and then we're going to do two lines on either side. And notice there is a diagonal that's going across inside the gate. So we're going to put that in, that kind of slash line in the center. And then we're going to go ahead and put the fence posts on either side. And the posts on either side of the fence, they're kind of going at a diagonal. And then we're going to put some imaginary flower beds down below. So we're just going to kind of curve down on the ground, and then we're going to start to sketch out our roses. And let's do some make-believe here and pretend that these crawling roses are all grown in and it's covering all the way up the fence and the arbor and going up and over like a rainbow. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my eraser, and then I'm just going to notch out any areas. So I'm going to use my eraser to erase any areas where I'm seeing the lines from the fence posts cutting through any of the foliage, any of the leaves, the flowers. We don't want that. We don't want our leaves and flowers to look like they're see-through or transparent. We want to make sure that they seem solid and opaque. So we need to make sure we just erase out any of those lines that are cutting through our roses, leaves, and foliage. And then I'm just going to go in and darken up the gate a little bit more. So the underneath part of the gate area, and also that board that's below the gate, I'm just darkening that up a little bit. And I'm just going to solidify my sketching of the crawling roses going up the side of the arbor. And have some fun. Put in some nice big leaves going in all different directions. Remember, we don't want it to become a pattern and all the same. We want them to be unique and different, the orientation of the leaves and the flowers. I'm just going to darken the ground area a little bit. Just adding a few circle shapes for the roses. We're not putting too much detail in because I'm going to go in with some color pencils. I'm just darkening up the fence posts on either side of the arbor. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in some nice color pencils so this will really pop and have some nice bright colors. So I'm picking out a nice spring green for the foliage of the climbing rose around the arbor here and around the gate. And I'm just using a light pressure and sketching in some of this green, really roughly blocking in these shapes. Because remember, with colored pencils, it's all about the layers. Just going to add some nice hatching marks for the grassy area because today was such a gorgeous day and the sun's out and the grass is like a neon green, so we want it to be super bright and cheerful. Going in with a little bit of this mustard yellow color on the grass and a few areas on the leaves. Just filling in a few leaves with some of the spring green again. I'm going to grab some olive green color for the color of the fence. So again, just using a medium pressure, and I'm going to fill in the fence posts, the triangle shape for the top of the gate, that slash diagonal piece of wood going across the gate and the bottom of the gate, the sides too. And I'm also going to fill in that shape on the bottom of the gate. I'm not going to put too much detail on the fence post area because our focal point is the arbor and the gate, the entrance to the garden. I'm just filling in a little bit of the side posts of the arbor with the olive green that you would see kind of tucked behind the crawling rose. Now I'm going to go in with some of this bright red, and I'm going to fill in these circle shapes that I put in, and these are going to be the roses. Now when I'm filling in the circle, I'm not filling it in completely, I'm leaving a little bit of white space in there. And don't worry about staying inside of that perfect circle shape. Go ahead, break outside of that circle shape so it's a little bit softer and it can be a little bit more of an oblong shape, because remember, when you look at a rose, it's not a perfect circle. There's some areas of the petals that kind of stick out, protrude outside of that circle a little bit, and then it kind of comes back in. There you go, you guys. We've completed our secret garden entranceway together. Nice job. Hello artists, so now we finished our 10-minute sketch. Wasn't that so fun? It was great to be outside to sketch with you guys. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started on this main project. Let's head back inside and get started.